So if we aren't warm enough from 40-degree heat that we've had these past couple of days, what a nice way to start the show than a lovely fireplace.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Happy
How
hump
are we
day.
all?
Happy Wafflers Wednesday.
Wafflers Wednesday.
All right. It's cooler today. It's
A
not
little
like
bit.
Just.
Today, yeah.
I don't feel like I'm in a furnace on the surface of the sun today,
No.
so that's a start.
That is true. It's not like 43 degrees or,
All right.
I don't think
Yeah.
it put it up to 3.
well, someone's car might have got up to 43 degrees.
Yeah, no.
But
Yes, Morgan's car definitely showed 43 degrees yesterday. It was at Celsius for anyone who's thinking it might be Fahrenheit.
so it's, yeah, way over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. But we've got a lot of people joining us today. So
We have,
Yeah.
first in, we have Caleb. Hi, Caleb.
Hi, Caleb.
Hi, Caleb. It's great to have you here.
And hello, John.
Hey, John.
Hi, John.
Oh, we've got. I think John's in both chats somehow. He's doing a very clever thing where he's in.
Double duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his bit. It's great.
He's crossing the
to have you, John.
streams.
He
Don't
is.
cross the streams.
Venkman, Peter.
Yes.
Uh,
Hi, Karen.
Karen.
Hello.
oh, why are we not on Facebook? What's going on with Facebook tonight? Have we
We
broken
are.
it?
Oh no,
No,
it seems very quiet on Facebook.
it
But-
is.
Have we broken Facebook? I've got Facebook open.
All I
And-
could say, at least everyone's managed to come over to YouTube and find us.
They have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes it happens.
Because Nick's managed to find us.
Yeah. We
He's on
also have-
YouTube and he's usually in Facebook. So but I got kicked out of Facebook, but I went back in. So it is working if anyone wants to go back into Facebook. But, you know what? We don't mind where you are. If you're with us, that
We
is a
won't.
good thing.
That is true. Hi, Neil and Karen.
Just come and say hello.
I still can't believe that your trip's over and that you're back
I
home.
know.
It's like
Don't say
4
quick.
weeks went by in a flash. It's-
Yeah.
Did 4
Done.
weeks, yes.
Hi,
It's a long
Mary.
time.
Mary.
Hi, Mary.
And
Hey,
Dan.
Dan's in,
Hi,
and
Dan.
Dan's in YouTube as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Hey, John.
it's weird.
Good job.
And who else have we got?
Mary.
If there is anyone that is usually on Facebook and they haven't found us yet, just send them a message, let them know we're on YouTube. Because
Yeah.
if
If
Facebook is
Facebook's
playing
not
about
working.
again,
Well,
And we've
John
got,
says Facebook's
not
working. We got
Yeah.
Susie's in YouTube, and we got Mark in Facebook.
Maybe
Oh,
they were all just fancying YouTube today.
that is true.
Right.
Hi,
Hi,
Erin.
Erin.
Hey, Erin.
Also, the benefit of YouTube, you can put it on your full screen TV.
no, we don't really wish that on anyone though.
I don't know. With some of the videos
That's a
we're going
lot.
to be, with some of the videos we're going to be showing tonight, I think that's going to be the best place.
Oh,
to watch.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
so. That's a lot of us though.
I don't
And,
necessarily want yes.
Yeah.
It's worth saying we're missing someone tonight, and I mean in terms of absence rather than anything else.
Oh,
So for the last few weeks, Jason's been with us, and he's obviously off on holiday.
I was going to
So-
say the lock worked on the Wafflers arms.
Right, we changed the
Right.
lock,
We changed the lock.
put in a
It's
big
worked.
padlock, and he's
And-
had to go off on holiday because we won't let him in anymore. So he's away for a couple of weeks.
I'm sure at some point he'll
on a
either pick the
well-
lock or find the key.
On a well-earned
certain.
break.
Yes, but he'll be back with us in a couple of weeks' time.
That is true.
Cool.
So yeah, I hope he's having a good trip.
And we've decided to do one of his favourite topics tonight as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy about that. I love that, Mary. Are we really missing him? I'm not good. I'm saying nothing.
Mary, we will
Nothing.
happily have you whether on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere.
we
Either or.
It doesn't matter. As long
You
as you're
can join
watching,
us
as long as you're
anyway.
joining us,
Yeah.
we're happy you're here.
don't mind.
Oh, has it really been 2 weeks? Oh no. You've got to start
Wow.
planning the next one.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I expect they've probably already got the next one booked, haven't you? Neil and Karen must have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, notification.
Okay, Mark.
That's what I
Hi,
had
Mark.
to do, Mark. But it's
Yeah.
thank you for letting everyone know, Mark. That's really helpful.
I'll be really listening to them.
Aw.
So what are we talking about tonight? So last week, for anyone who wasn't able to join us, we talked about the Monorail resorts at the Magic Kingdom. So we covered contemporary and Polynesian and Grand Floridian. So there are 2 other resorts that are counted as Magic Kingdom resorts in Walt Disney World terms, but they're not on the monorail loop. And these 2 resorts are really, really special. One of them has unanimously come out as Wafflers' most
Yep.
wanted. Was it how do I say this? The resort that most Wafflers want to stay at, and
Yes.
and so Wilderness Lodge is pretty much a unanimous. This is the place for us. This is how we, what we love this resort so much. And I think Ben and Becky, you've obviously stayed there in the DVC
a couple of times.
but I don't think any of the rest of us have stayed there. We've wanted to. We've looked at it every time we've booked and gone, ouch, that's quite expensive.
But not as expensive as Grand Floridian.
No. But there are so many amazing things about this particular resort. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Fort Wilderness, which is very different, but also extremely cool and so much to do. So we're going to start with Wilderness Lodge. And I think that, just from that first walk in the doors and the breathtaking lobby.
Absolutely.
Wow. It really is a moment of sharp intake of breath and just allow the smell and the atmosphere to
even though you've not all stayed there, what do you think of just spending time in that resort? Is it somewhere that you'd always make a space in the trip to do?
It feels like
let me stay there all day
and
like just hang out all day without really any questions being asked, I would probably just do that. I know when you park at a resort, you're only really meant to be there for dinner or park for 3 hours, I think it says officially.
Go via bus.
I can spend hours there, and yes, Geyser Point is definitely a move. It's such a great restaurant, and you don't have to book a table. You can join a wait list, but you can also do a walk up. The view is stunning. The food is stunning. The drinks are amazing. Mary, it's not your favourite.
See, we can't eject people from the chat.
No.
What is your favourite?
Yeah, what is your favourite then, Mary? Because I kind of, it always feels...
I'm going to go Beach Club. I think that might be Mary's favourite, possibly.
But see, that's okay, because that's one less person in the queue in front of me. That's fine. That's fine. One less person queue for a bison burger.
AKL.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Erin's comment around the fact that she feels she always has to wear a jumper at Wilderness Lodge, even when it's a million degrees outside.
Maybe it's just
there is something about
the air conditioning in quite a lot, but it's just that fireplace.
Yeah, and obviously as we started the show, that was the lovely little videos that we were furnished with by Jason. We've got some videos that we've...
It was the first place that we looked at staying, and we would have gone there if it wasn't too expensive. It is where we've always wanted to stay, and you walk in and you say, yes, I'm here, I'm home.
Yeah.
It just feels right.
Yeah. The first time we walked into the lobby, it was just like, we're home now.
It does feel like that, and I think there are so many different bits of... I mean, it's a massive resort, and you don't always feel like it's a massive resort when you walk in, because that there's a big lobby, and then the hotel sort of feels either side of it. But actually, the further you walk into it, the more you discover. So I think there's probably quite a lot to talk about. And Zach, lovely to have you with us, sneaking in. Nice guy,
hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Good
morning. So where do we want to start? Do you want to start with the rooms? Do you want to start with a video? What do you want to do, Ben? You're in charge. You've got the buttons.
I know. Well, no, let's see. We've got plenty of videos. I want to say a huge thank you to Jason for sending us, I think, all the videos you've got of Wilderness Lodge. So we've been looking through them.
Yeah.
We've been looking through and trying to pick a few bits here and there of what we think we should play.
Yeah.
Right, Erin, it's comfy and cozy. I like that. It's
that's just lovely. I've never been that high up in Wilderness Lodge.
right up at the top and that left-hand corner, you see those tiny stairs at the top. Those are my favourite stairs in all of Walt Disney World. Do you see them going up to the roof? Because I always think, I wonder if you can get up there. And where do they go? Where do you come out? Those are my favourite stairs, and I always look at them and think, I want to go.
So I finally found the hidden Mickey on that chimney.
Oh,
right.
When we were there last time. It's only taken me 7 years, 8 years.
Well, that talks about one of the things you can do. Is all you need to do. You don't even have to be staying there. Just go up to the front desk, and just say about hidden Mickeys, and they'll give you a piece of paper, and there's a hidden Mickey hunt.
Oh,
And there's
cool.
clues.
There's clues, and it's brilliant. It
Like
really
some
is.
Some of them are really hard to spot.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the comments. So Zach's been up to those stairs. Zach, I'm also scared of heights, as you know. But I would quite like to go and have a look and see what's up there. Or maybe you can go and video it for me, and then I can just. But in the lobby, there's that amazing Ben and Becca. When you were there, you went to Wilderness Lodge for us, and you did that amazing walk around the store and looked at all the there's quite a lot of unique merchandise that's available in that store as well. I think we all had a shopping list for you at the end of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of the few that does seem to have a lot of unique hotel resort merchandise, which is quite good. It's quite nice.
I think a lot of the DVC resorts tend to do that, but then sometimes you go in some like Beach Club and you can't find anything.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones that what I really like about Wilderness Lodge is I feel far enough away from Magic Kingdom, but still close enough that I can get straight back to the magic within a few minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough where it's a holiday. It doesn't feel like I'm in that bubble of being busy all the time, sort of where I'm thinking of like what next attraction I'm going to get to, but I can switch off and just enjoy all the food. But the rooms there are incredible. We've stayed in Copper Creek twice, so that's in the main building, and we've had great rooms both times.
So Copper Creek has main hotel rooms that are DVC, and then they also have the cabins, which are like the amazing cabins.
The Cascade cabins, yes.
Oh my goodness, who doesn't want to stay there? So here's a question: would you prefer a Cascade cabin or a poly bungalow?
Ooh.
Cascade cabin.
Becca?
I'm going to say poly bungalow, but that's really for the fireworks.
I think depending on the view where you are in the Cascade cabin, I think you can have a good firework view, because I know you can get an amazing
one of the
view
other
from
one's the other end.
You could just walk
Peter and
to
Jill?
Geyser.
Ooh,
Cabin or poly bungalow?
cabin.
Yes is the answer, surely.
Yes. Cabin every time.
Yeah,
I think I would go for the cabin too. I think they're pretty incredible. Oh, look, there's Zach hedging his bets as usual. Cabin in the winter, bungalow in the summer. That's a good call. And then at the other side, there's Boulder Ridge, and that has DVC rooms as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
And does it have 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom DVC
And
rooms?
both the main Copper Creek also have 1 bed, 2 bedroom as well.
Yeah.
So they are very similar. It's slightly older design in the Boulder Ridge.
The Boulder Ridge ones are due for an update.
I was going to ask when they were
this year or next year.
Yeah, in the next 2 years or so.
Copper Creek was 2017.
I was going to say they weren't done that long ago, were they?
No. Because
But
we
when I
stayed
looked
there in
at
2018.
when I looked at Boulder Ridge for a trip previously, COVID previously, and we were looking at renting some DVC points and staying in Boulder Ridge. I looked at them and I thought they look fine. They look lovely. I'd still like to stay there, but they did look a little bit dark and a bit dated. And I'm sure that they fit the environment really nicely, and they're very comfortable.
Especially when you compare them to Copper Creek, that's just been done a few years ago.
I think,
and it's like if I had to choose between the two, which one am I going for?
Yeah,
I'm waiting for Boulder Ridge to be updated, and then we'll try it out.
And Boulder Ridge has its own lobby, doesn't it?
It does. And it's a
lovely
gorgeous lobby.
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
It's so small and it's
they have a really cool Christmas tree in there as well, don't they?
Yep. See, Wilderness Lodge just comes alive at Christmas.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
We went around Christmas time
Yeah.
first time, and we got this great photo of us in front of the tree, and it's just it's
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Susie,
Yeah.
I love your comment. That is me to a T. Cabins feel like you're in the woods without having to go to the woods. Yeah, that's
Into the woods.
totally me. That's totally me. I'm not a nature lover. I don't do the whole wasps and mosquitoes and slithery things and crawly things thing. I get twitchy if I'm not near air conditioning and a decent cup of coffee. But yeah, I love that.
So let's talk
Mention of Christmas
Christmas.
and the fountain.
Lovely.
So Susie has mentioned Artist Point, and I need to have just a moment and a sharp
A
intake
moment
of breath.
remember us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my life! So Artist Point absolutely was my favourite signature restaurant on property, without any question. We've been there. We went there several times. Always had an incredible meal. I loved the surroundings. I loved the mural on the wall. The service was outstanding. The food was incredible. So when they destroyed it and made it into the storybook dining, I'm really sad, and I haven't been to storybook dining yet either. And I'm not sure I want to go. That's the thing. I'm not sure how I feel about going to the storybook dining. I've had a look at the menu. I'm not sure it's something that I really like the idea of, and I don't know if anyone's done it in the chat. Let us know what you thought of the storybook dining, because Artist Point was so incredible.
Yeah.
Quite a lot to live up to.
I think it would be very good if you hadn't done Artist Point. So we hadn't done Artist Point, but even looking at the menu of storybook dining, it doesn't appeal to us.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal.
Yeah, I think
when
the
I look
menu's
at
a
other
little bit
character
limited.
meals that are on Disney.
I'd rather go to Whispering Canyon.
Oh,
so we haven't been there.
It's incredible.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's good value. You get lots of food
and lots of tomato ketchup.
It's a bit like is it 50s prime time?
Yeah, you
in
get
Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
it has a bit of a.
Well, you get told off.
No,
you could do. You can be put in jail.
Can you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's lots of.
It's like that in the interactive side of things, but it's.
I thought it was just a ketchup thing. I didn't realise there was
No.
Yeah.
They have
races.
races.
Have you guys eaten there as well?
No, but I've seen lots of it on videos.
We've been there for breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
And I've seen the hobby horse races.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're doing them again after COVID.
I know everything else has started. I don't know whether they've done those yet. But
and again, looking at the menu.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter. Go on.
Talking of the late lamented Artist Point, we when we went there, we were served by this guy with a thick Lancashire accent, and apparently he thought he'd lost his accent because he'd been in America for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So he just got this. Hello.
Hey up. It was so lovely.
It was lovely. Yeah. I ended up talking Lanky back to him.
That's sweet.
Joe, I'm so glad that you're here. I know that you love these resorts, Fort Wilderness especially. So I'm really glad that you've made it. We haven't talked about it yet. We've kept it till second so that you had time to join us. So, which one does the ketchup thing? Karen, it is
Whispering Canyon Cafe.
And looking at the menu for that, I mean, they do these skillets for breakfast and then lunch as well, and then dinner is slightly more a la carte. The price point looks okay. It doesn't. I guess you have to kind of like everything that's on the skillet. If you're,
we've never had a skillet.
Yeah, they do have a la carte menu as well. So, pancake last time?
I think so. But there was.
Are you ever breakfast?
It
was breakfast the first time, brunch the second time.
Yeah. Okay. Funny enough, there was a bison burger on the menu.
Ooh.
So I expect it's the same bison burger that you can get down in Guys.
It is.
Yeah. Do they have waffle fries?
Funny enough, they do.
They do.
So why can't they walk them down the road? Why can't they just walk them down to the
It
Geyser
makes
Point?
no
That makes
sense.
no sense at
No.
all. You know,
They have a delivery. Why can't they just add a delivery for Geyser?
they just put them on a plate and walk them down the pathway. It's
And
all
they're not going to get
2
cold
minutes.
in like that. Yeah.
I'll go and get them myself next time. I'm going to go to Geyser Point, Whispering Candy Cafe, and order some waffle fries and take them down to get my Geyser Bunny. In terms of, there are some other eating options, aren't there? There's a couple of sort of quick
You've got
servicey.
Roaring
Yeah.
Fork.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's got very like straightforward burgers, nugs, things like that,
There's
isn't it?
some
There's
interesting
a couple of
things on the
interesting bits
breakfast.
on that menu.
They do grits, which,
Oh, good.
which I thought Claire would want to know.
There's something else new on that menu that we saw when we were there last, and I can't remember
I
what
think
it
it was
was.
on the lunch menu. They had like mac and cheese, which they had before, and a few other additional
Yeah.
things that they've added to the menu. But
Yay.
it's quite nice.
Can we say hello to Tom Macmillan?
Hey,
Yes,
Tom.
Just
hey,
joined
Tom.
us. Hi, Tom.
Hi Tom.
Hey, Tom. I like that. Geyser Point must not have a fryer. They do have a fryer because they have other fried things. So it's just
They sell normal fries.
there's just normal fries, just not the waffle fries. Maybe
Mm.
It's
they
madness.
used to have the waffle fries, and now they've got rid of
And
them.
they were incredible.
Right,
Who
it's
knows?
a bit of an
Mate.
issue.
I think there should be a petition, bring back the waffle fries at Geyser Point.
Yeah.
In terms of pools, how many pools are there? So there's the main pool, isn't there? And then there's
So you got
is there one
two,
over at
Boulder Ridge
Yeah.
pool.
one at
Ridge
Boulder
Pool?
Ridge and one Copper Creek, one at the main building.
Yeah, and
Boulder
Are
Ridge one's
they-
probably what I'd call the quiet pool.
I was going to say is one the quiet pool, so Boulder
Yeah.
Ridge is sort of the quiet pools, and then there are activities available, and there's like trails as well, isn't there? There's quite a good. You can walk around in the sort of the foresty bits.
Well, you used to be able to walk from there through to Fort Wilderness, which unfortunately you can't do anymore.
Why not?
Because they were going to build another DPC hotel,
Reflections.
Reflections, and then they
Yes.
decided not to.
So they cleared the land, got it all ready, and then this is where a lot of refurbishments past few years have been at Fort Wilderness, and a lot of
Okay.
things were changing, moving around because of that. But now that got scrapped, but they haven't put it back in.
So I didn't realise you could walk between the two previously. That's interesting. Okay.
No,
In terms
and-
of, go on, Jill.
I was going to say another thing you can do at Wilderness Lodge of an evening is walk down and watch the electric water pageant or whatever it's called.
Yes,
You can
we've
see
done
that at both of the resorts.
Yeah.
Actually, you
Yeah.
can catch the water pageant.
Great spot be Geyser Point, so just being there for
Yeah.
fireworks, sticking around.
Definitely, and it's worth saying that actually there's some really good viewpoints in Wilderness Lodge. If you go up a couple of floors in the main building, you can see out the back
the
really
overlook.
nicely. Yeah, there's some overlooks, and those balconies are incredible. You know, I think second, third floor are accessible to everybody, maybe even fourth. Be up above that is club level, so go upstairs. No one's going to stop you. And there's some
That's
really
true.
nice little lobby areas upstairs. So I know there's like the infamous second floor. I'm using first floor for us, second floor for Americans. Second floor seating area by the fireplace and the chairs that people want to use for work. And I know a few people who go and hang out there just to do some work. And they're like at various times, because that's, you know, it's all available. You can go and have a walk around, and they encourage you to explore the resort.
Our original
Yes.
plan for the live show last month was we were going to be up there at
We
that
were going to
bit,
start there.
but
we
unfortunately
couldn't find
people
it.
were working up there.
Yeah.
Oh right, doing
Yeah.
exactly that, using the Wi-Fi and just working.
We
So,
could see
great.
them from where we
Yeah.
were.
I've got
Yeah.
a video here from the overlook. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
So on the right, that is the Copper Creek rooms, and on the left, that's the regular rooms.
I love those overlooks, and it sort of wraps round, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
Yeah. And just the
And then
sound
there's-
of water, and just how the water just flows
Yeah.
Yeah.
straight into the pool.
And then
Although I
there's
have, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard that it's not necessarily a good idea to get a courtyard facing room because the noise of water all night will mean that you're up and down to the loo all night.
No.
Okay,
We had a courtyard facing room, and it was fine.
cool.
They're very well soundproof. And
We had a pool. We had a pool view.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when you go out the back of the main lobby and there's that overlook over the water there, where just behind where there's like some chairs and then there's a little bridge over the water, and you can go outside there and there's a few rocking chairs and things, and you can watch the waterfalls over the rocks there. That's such a lovely area as well, and people miss that it's even there. I remember we went out there, I think it was the first time we went to Wilderness Lodge, and we're probably going back 5, maybe 6 years, I think. And that day, my cousin and her husband had arrived from New York, and they brought Millie a teddy bear from New York, which she had appropriately named Hudson. And it's so cute. And we went out there, and she had him in her hand, and I've got a photo of her and Morgan stood looking over into the water, and she's got this teddy bear in her hand. And exactly what happened that you think is going to happen.
No.
It's exactly what happened. Hudson went for a swim. So she lifted her arm up and she dropped him in the water into the movie. And without, he's going to kill me for telling you this, without a split second of thought, Morgan hurdled the barrier and onto the rocks to rescue Hudson. So he's then stood on the rocks in the middle of this water. He got the teddy bear, it was fine. Hudson was safe and got it over. But then Morgan had to work out how to get back over, you know, like Big Brother to the rescue. He was like 14, and it was like, now what do I do? But we did get him back over. But yeah, Hudson went for a short swim. But it was like this moment, you know, as a parent, you can just see it. It's going to happen. I was like, just be careful with the teddy bear. This is like 3 hours ago that you got it. So it's the most precious thing in the world. And then plop, off he goes. And I didn't want to wait at the bottom for him to swim his way down.
I just love how the water is done, so it looks like it feeds into the pool.
It does, yeah.
It's incredible.
It's very clever.
Yeah.
And then there's the view of the resort as well. So if you, I think it's meant to look like a bear, isn't it? From far away. If you look at it, you can see the sort of the outline of a bear from the back of the resort. And I think the green roofs, they're just they're so
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So Karen is asking what the difference is between Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge and the
Copper
regular
Creek
rooms.
are the DVC rooms, and the regular ones are the ones you can book through Disney's website. So it depends on, you can book with every DVC resort. There's a small allocation of rooms that can be that you can stay in.
So the regular rooms are just regular hotel rooms, and the Copper Creeks are the studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. All of them have at the very least a kitchenette.
Or a full kitchen.
Which is great.
Or a full kitchen.
Yep.
Yeah. In terms of, there's also, if you're going to have a beverage and a snack, and I was looking at the menu earlier, and the snacks are great actually. Territory Lounge is an amazing lounge. If you go in there, just look up at the ceiling, because the map on the ceiling is incredible. It's actually a lovely. It's not too big, and it's sort of off to the side. People sometimes miss it on the way to Artist Point or down towards the pool. They have some great food on Territory Lounge menu. They've got a Chardonnay cheese fondue with a pretzel, which there's a win. And then the charcuterie board. There's so many nice things. They do. Where's Zach? Is Zach still here? They do a pie. They do pie of the month or pie of the day. So you had
me at charcuterie board, sorry.
Yeah. Exactly. But they got some great beverages in there as well. You know, mixed drinks and also good back wall of spirits, if that's your thing. So yeah, I do like Territory Lounge. The lighting's a little bit low. It's a nice place to hang out, really.
Poked our head round when it hasn't been open.
Mm-hmm. We've unfortunately never been there at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Next time we stay there.
And Geyser Point can be a lounge as well, so you can go down there and sit at the bar and just get a drink and a snack if you want. You don't have to eat. So, in terms of the things that there are to do, when you had a walk around, what did you find activity-wise?
So Cornhole tossing. Yeah.
There's a cornhole toss court, or I don't know what is it. A court? Is it a? I don't know. Pitch. So, I was talking. Yeah, I was talking about. I can't even remember what it was.
Pie.
Oh, I was talking about pies at.
Someone
Yes.
said
Pie.
pie.
Terry Lounge.
Yeah, the cornhole toss. Someone tell me, is it a court? Is it a pitch? Is it? I don't know.
I'm gonna go
What
with
sort of?
core.
I don't know. I don't know what
Board.
where
I don't know.
area.
Board, area, thing.
Thing. What it's called.
Thing.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a basketball court as well.
Yeah, there's normal tennis courts.
Normally
I think
tennis courts as well. It's got and I can't remember the name of it. The whole thing.
The activity hall.
Reunion
so it's got
station.
yeah, so it's got like
station.
the community
That's the
hall.
one.
Yeah.
the community hall, which those like the community halls. Most of the DVC hotels do have a community hall,
They do.
and they have some great activities. So for kids and also families together, things like scavenger hunts.
A lot of the
they
ones at
tend to do
Wilderness
arts and
Lodge
crafts.
are quite. A lot of the things there are quite unique. They do photography sessions.
Yeah, there's some
wow.
iPhone photography. So if you
Yeah.
an iPhone for an hour, you can just
I
go
think they've
along
got
and
some. I want to. Can't remember the others off the top of my head, but I know a lot of them are quite.
a lot
That's
of them.
great.
I'm not sure how many have come
Unique.
back since COVID, but I know
Yeah.
that.
Well, they did.
And
yeah.
most of them are free as well, aren't they?
Yeah, some of them
Or
are
some are
free,
only a
some of
small
them are a
upcharge.
small
Yeah.
charge.
But also there
And-
is a spa,
Oh yes, it has a spa and a salon.
a
as well.
salon.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Ooh.
That's
It's
fantastic.
actually right by the pool, the main
Oh,
pool.
really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Gosh. And right by the pool also there's the fire pit. So they
Yeah.
do the fire pit hot marshmallow toasting, or for a small upcharge you can get s'mores.
S'mores.
Every single evening at like it's usually 6:15, something like that. Exactly. You know, if you're there in August, it's perfect. You just need a little extra warmth that time of day.
Yeah.
We've done that a few times, and I think Millie's been there toasting marshmallows while we've been at Geyser Point. So yeah, it's definitely there are things to do that are free, which doesn't happen often at Disney.
No. So, am I right in thinking one of the lounges has a train collection? Where's the train?
So that's
collection?
you're thinking of the Carrollwood Pacific room.
I am. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Down in the Boulder Ridge area.
That's
Yes.
right. I knew I was right.
It's not a lounge. It's just a
room.
like
Yes,
a-
that's right.
comfy room, and it does
Yeah.
have some
Yeah.
very cool trains.
I knew it was in Wilderness Lodge. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
you
think
have to go and find it. It's not immediately
No.
obvious.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I think for us for Wilderness Lodge has always been its location and transport. So just being able to get the boats.
Yeah.
And just nipping out
Go
of the
across the
park.
water
Well,
bridge. I'm learning across the
Yeah.
water bridge to
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you can also get the boat from the Wilderness Lodge to Fort Wilderness.
Oh, did you
Yes.
see what you did there? I saw what
Yeah.
you did there.
I
Smooth.
know.
And it's probably the
Um,
better way to get there, because then you don't have to deal with the internal bus transport if you don't have your own
Yeah.
car.
So I think of these resorts like cousins, because you know you've got the main Wilderness Lodge, and then you've got Fort Wilderness, which is a little bit more rural, and has got so much on offer. And it's not until you start looking into it you go, wow, actually there's so much to do. Thank you, Erin. I know it's I was smooth there. So you can access Fort Wilderness. There's 3 ways you can get there. You can either get the bus, you can drive, obviously, or you can get the bus. If you drive or get the bus, you have to get off at the main car park. From the parking lot, you have to get an internal bus if you're going to other areas of the resort, or you can get the launch boat from the Contemporary Resort or Wilderness Lodge. You cannot get there directly from the Magic Kingdom. But you know, you could just walk to the Contemporary and get a boat from there. But it depends really where you're going in the resort as to which end you might want to be at. And in terms of Fort Wilderness, there's quite diverse accommodation. So there's the cabins, which are 2-bedroom cabins. They've got a big patio area, barbecue, everything that you want.
If I'm right, they've
actually,
got bunk beds, haven't they? I think
they have.
Yeah.
They're great for families because it spreads the family across the cabin. And from people, I've spoken to people who stayed there, and quite frankly, we have looked at it for us. And I think that they're actually quite spacious inside. There's enough space for a family of 4, 5, 6 maybe. But it depends if that's your thing or not, and how comfortable you are with nature, Jill. Because there's nature.
Yes,
there is
And
nature.
a lot of it.
Curated nature, I can cope with.
Yes.
There is uncurated. There is.
It's
There
not
is
like
wild.
This is the
camping.
real deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a reason why you're in the wilderness.
Yeah, wilderness explorer moment.
Yes.
So we have in previous years, you used to be able to book a tent pitch. You can still book a tent pitch at the campground, and that would give you the opportunity to book your ADRs at 190 days for your whole trip and your fast passes. They've obviously curtailed that benefit because people like me were booking a night in the campground and making the most of it. So you can't do that anymore. But interestingly, we did do that a couple of times on our first morning. We go and check in on our first morning at campground. And I had a very interesting conversation with one of the cast members at check-in who was like, "No, if you need to use the bathrooms, you'll need to take this. This is what you need. You need your magic band. Make sure. I hope you've got a torch because you will encounter wildlife on your way." And I was like, "Oh my god,
Okay.
this does not sound like fun." So yeah,
It sounds like an experience, not the
I think
experience that
it's
I'd
like
want
I think
for a
it's
vacation.
all the experiences. To be honest with you, I think.
See, they've also got caravan pictures.
Yeah, they've
as well,
got
haven't they?
yeah. So they've got
Motorhome
like
pictures.
trailer pitches. Yeah, so you can take a tent, and so basically you get hard standing. So you get a concrete hard standing, whether that be big enough for an RV or whether an RV and a tent or just a tent. So you can pick, and they have preferred. They have meadow ones. They have lots of different options in terms of location, and they're slightly different prices. But effectively, what you get is a hookup. So that gives you your power and your water and all of that stuff, and you park your RV and then you're there. So if you're going, and I think people who go there seem to stay for a little bit longer. They take their RV and they stay for a few weeks. So we've been in Crockett's Tavern waiting for the hoop-de-doo before and had a chat with some people who were there, I think, for like 3 months. They'd come down in their RV from somewhere and they were just staying there for 3 months. So yeah, really interesting group of people who stay there. And they obviously and a lot of them go and they don't necessarily go to the parks that much. They just enjoy the surroundings.
What's it like for people like us who don't have a
car or an RV or vehicle?
So I think, I mean, we've never stayed there, and when we have gone, we have parked at the main parking lot and then got the bus up through the resort. The resort itself is absolutely worth a visit, just to have. Just to walk around because there is so much to do.
Also,
you know,
rent
that you
a
can
golf cart.
Oh, you could rent. They rent golf carts, so you can drive around if you want to. But you can get the internal resort bus, and there's maps around, so you can find out where to get off. The pool is sort of halfway through the resort. So, but in terms of entertainment, I was making a list earlier and just trying to work through it all, and then I had a look on the website. And there's a whole load of stuff that I'd never heard of. But if you go there, then you've got the Tricircle D Ranch, which is where they house
I was about to talk about that.
Yeah, the heavy horses. And that's incredible. We've been there a few times and just visited the horses, and obviously you can't touch them, but you can get pretty close. You can certainly smell them. And they redid the main barn, about 4 years ago, I think it was.
That was part of the area they were preparing for when they were doing reflections. Yeah,
so we've seen it pre and post. And it's incredible. Everyone in the chat's going off about the horse estate and the stables. So that's right, Mary. At Halloween, they did the Legends of Sleepy Hollow, and they had the
Headless Horseman.
Headless Horseman going around. I think they do like wagon rides and stuff like that around the resort, which is really cool. You can, for kids, you can do pony rides. They're really inexpensive. And they have like a little paddock. You can do a little guided pony ride.
All this horseback riding for adults.
Yeah, we can call it just horse riding, Ben.
That's okay. I was translating.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You don't want to ride in any other area of the horse.
Of the horse, this is it. But they do, they do the horse trails. So if you're a novice rider or an experienced rider, you can go and you can have
I've never been on a horse in my life.
It doesn't matter because they've got really great stable hands and cast members there to help you. You know, I've spoken to people who've done that, never been on a horse, and they've really enjoyed it. I mean, you might want to consider what you're doing the following day. Lots of sitting down might not be a good plan if you've never ridden before. So yeah, I think there's lots to see. And then there's things like there's carriage rides. Like I think you guys have done a carriage. Jill and Peter, you've done a carriage ride over at Port Orleans, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
I think this is probably slightly more rustic in
absolutely
in feel.
Yeah.
But they do carriage rides around the resort. There is archery. Did you know that you could go and do archery?
I did, and it's on my list of things to do one day.
Yeah.
It used to be on the Magic Express, didn't it?
Did it? I've never been on the Magic
Express about doing
okay.
I'm loving the conversation about the armadillos and the fact that you encounter them, and I wonder how tame they are. The armadillos must have worked out that there's food available.
Yeah.
You know, they keep coming back for a reason.
Yeah.
But there's pools. You know, there's they do the campfire sing along. I'm not sure if that's come back yet. I think
don't they do something with Chip and Dale?
That's the campfire sing along.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that comes back soon. If it hasn't yet, I don't think it is. No. And then they've got ball games. You've got volleyball, basketball court, and then you've got the boat rentals. So you can hire a boat and go out on the lake, or the Craig.
Yeah.
I think it's. Oh, it has returned. There we are. Zach's been to see Chip and Dale already. Thank you, Joe.
Excellent.
And Zach.
You can hire a kayak, a two-man kayak, two-person kayak, or a canoe, and you can go for a paddle down the river, which is beautiful, peaceful.
Yes.
Last time I hired a kayak anywhere, I ended up in the water 3 times. I am just not a kayaker.
Last time we went in a kayak, we ended up going around in circles. So.
I think someone wasn't pulling their weight then.
Susie has mentioned the armadillo in the room, or the armadillo in the tent.
I was holding out for this because I should have looked up which episode it was where we talked about our ideal cast member roles, because that was when was that? That was like 2 years ago.
August 2020.
Oh my goodness, your brain is
probably was.
I think it was August 2020.
I think it was at least 2 years ago. I think.
Yeah.
And we talked about what would be our favourite cast member roles in park and then outside parks, but on property. And my outside the parks favorite, like dream cast member role would be Dolly Drew in the Hoop-Doo. And I just love that show. We've seen it a few times. The food is incredible. We were talking about it before the show tonight, and I was saying to Ben and Becca and Peter and Jill that if you like the level of joke on the Jungle Cruise, you will like the Hoop-Doo, because it is puns and cheesy jokes, and I know they've rewritten bits of the script to make it probably more socially acceptable where they've reopened, but hopefully I'm sure the feel of it won't have changed too much. But I'm interested to know if people in the chat have been to Hoop-Doo and what you think, because I just think
is the food literally just like eating chicken out of a bucket?
So the cornbread,
because that's how I've just had
the cornbread. Just feed me the cornbread. That's all of it I want. It's just amazing. It's cornbread and honey butter, and it's great. And Susie, I can't wait to try the vegan option now. It looks amazing.
What is the vegan option?
I can't remember.
Cornbread.
Cornbread. More cornbread.
Without the honey. Or the butter.
I'm just, maybe one of us can look it up while we're talking. But
so Claire,
the main menu is sausages, fried chicken. There's a great salad. Potatoes, beans, and then strawberry shortcake for dessert, and alcohol is included.
Yeah.
Ooh. Why have I not
I
been
was
able
going to ask you, Claire, but I kind of think you've answered my question anyway. How similar was it to the old show in Disneyland Paris, the old Buffalo Bills?
Oh, nothing like it.
Right.
Nothing like it at all.
The food. I mean, the food.
Oh no, it's infinitely better.
Okay,
like
cool. Yeah.
on a different scale. So
Right.
the Buffalo Bills show in Disneyland Paris, the food, I would say would be a reason for me not to go. At Hoop to Do is a reason to go, and actually you can get the same food next door in Trails End if you want to just have the food and you're not a fan of the show or you don't want to pay out. Actually, Trails End as a buffet is a really cost-effective option. The food is excellent as well, and it's comes from the same kitchen. It's
Trails End is really
secret
cheap.
star.
Really
and it's
cheap.
the same fried chicken that's amazing.
We've been to Trails End for
you do.
breakfast, and for both of us, and it was about $44 in total.
Yeah.
It's a buffet.
No, it's a
And
buffet.
Greg, all you can drink, Greg. I am there, and it's beer. I think it's beer, wine, and they had a sangria option.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember which one was I was drinking, but the server was brilliant. He just kept refilling it.
Sangria doesn't feel very Wild Westy to me. But I guess
you don't care after 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Karen, Trails End, it's next door to the Pioneer Hall where the Hoop to Do takes place. It's not a very big restaurant, Trails End, and at the front of it there's a bar which is called Crockett's Tavern. So there is about at Crockett's there are about maybe 7 or 8 stools at the bar. There's nowhere else to sit. It's not a lounge. It's literally just a straight bar. And then they have a serving window around the back so that you can go up and grab your drinks and take them away. But we've been there a few times and sat at the bar whilst we were waiting for our Hoop to Do show. And that's, you can chat to all sorts of interesting people, whether you want to or not sometimes. So I would say that the show is really interactive. It's so much fun. The music's incredible. The performers are outstanding. We've done it once on the dining plan when we were in category 2 sing and we were at the back of the hall. Excuse me. And there's different categories. So category 3 is upstairs in the balcony. Last couple of times we've been, we paid extra and paid in category. We paid out of pocket and sat at category 1 seating right at the front. And absolutely, it makes a massive difference. So if you can afford to do that and you're going to go and see Hoop to Do, just pay out for the category 1 and be up the front. You really feel part of it, and it is interactive. They do come, the cast members do come into the audience. People do get up on stage. Haven't had to do that. None of us have managed to get away with that. But it's
been very lucky.
I know. I was just like, any volunteers are like looking all over the place. But it is so much fun. You know, there's definite interactive elements that would make you want to go again and again and again. I love
One
it.
thing about Fort Wilderness, I haven't seen that there's a merchandise store.
So there is a store on the other side. So there's like the park area opposite Crockett's Tavern. And on the far side of that, there is quite a nice store, actually. It's like your usual DVC resort store where it's got food and you've got fridges with stuff and milk and bread and all of that stuff. They have got some unique merchandise in there as well, which is particular to Fort Wilderness. So there is some cool stuff in there too.
I've seen it on videos.
Definitely.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
It looks like a rustic barn.
I knew they had
It's-
one, but I didn't know where it was.
Yeah. But it's right outside where if you were to get the boat to Fort Wilderness, you'd get off right near the store. Actually, you come out and you literally walk past it. And
They're
there's a
not
big
daft,
children's.
are they? Yes.
There's a big children's playground as well right there as well.
Yeah.
What else is that?
Apparently there's 2 Meadows Trading Posts. Now there's the down by the marina.
Yeah. The trading post is the one we've been in, and it's quite nice just to have a little mooch around. And
It's such a large resort.
it is massive.
Yeah, we
So
unfortunately
easy to get lost.
had to walk it because we didn't realise there was the internal bus. So when we got
How
the
did
bus,
you get? Did you get the boat over?
No, we got the bus.
And
So we
then
got the
what
bus,
did you do?
And then it was like, well, we walked from there to
Trails End.
For breakfast?
How long did it take you?
No, lunch.
Okay.
How long did it take you?
Too long.
About an hour walk, 45-minute
Right,
walk.
okay.
Whoa!
We were late for
Wait,
our reservation.
Yeah, they were literally
Yeah.
we were the last ones in the restaurant on for the lunch sitting.
How
But yeah.
how did you miss there was an internal bus?
Well, there was no signs when we got there. This was in 2014. There was no sign for an
while
internal
back.
bus. We only saw one bus going round, which
Mhm.
wasn't the internal one. It was only until we got probably over halfway. All we saw were golf carts, and then a little bit further when we got towards the end, it was there's a bus which said internal shuttle. Well, we but we didn't see it until then.
Yeah.
Always do
Don't-
your research or
Yeah.
listen
Don't
to
be
us.
like Ben
Yes.
and Becca. Don't walk it.
No, don't
That's
walk
not-
it.
It's
Not a lot of fun.
it's a one way to
not
get
unless you
like
actually
want to get your
are
steps in.
wanting to go for a walk around Fort Wilderness.
I'm sure it was
Yeah.
lovely. I just can't see me doing it. No.
There was definitely a lot of wildlife, quite a few deers.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure there was.
Mm.
I think there's other thing to mention is at Fort Wilderness that at Halloween and at Christmas,
Yes.
Mhm.
so the guests that stay there, I don't know when this started. It seems to have always been a thing, and maybe someone in the chat knows more. The guests decorate for the season. So at Halloween, the guests staying in particularly in the RV area, I think the trailer pitches or whatever they're called, and around the cabins, they do decorate their area. Take a horse next time, yeah, right. So they do go all out for their decorations, and they bring them with them,
They
and
do,
they put them
yeah.
up, and
Yeah.
you know what. And so today I was having a look on the website around what guidance is there. Oh my goodness, the list of guidance, the rules for the decorations is massive, and there are certain things you can do and you can't do, and wow, yeah, it's quite the list. But certainly Halloween and Christmas, guests staying there just love to go over the top. It does look like a Christmas tree decorated, the whole place.
Yeah.
So there you are, Erin. Yeah, grab a golf cart and drive around and have a look at them. We fully intend to do that at Halloween. I can't wait. It looks so much fun.
Next time
We've
we're
never
at
done
Christmas
it.
or Halloween, I think we'll have to give it a go.
Don't know when that'll be.
No.
And the
Few
golf carts
years' time.
they're not expensive, the golf carts. You only need it for an hour or so. And they seat 4 people, so you can drive around, and they go relatively quickly, so you can get around a few loops because they're sort of based around these loops around.
Yeah. I remember the video of Jason and Zach.
Oh yeah. Zach's excellent driving.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Zach. That's a great episode. If people haven't seen it, go back.
And Jason directing
Mhm.
without a map, of course.
I think the same loop was travelled several times. I recall. But yeah, the decks that go up are really special. There's no holding back.
Again, I've seen videos. They look spectacular.
They do,
really
yeah.
do. Yeah.
So Karen has asked an interesting question. I think, Claire, you're probably best placed to answer that one.
What's the question? With an active 4-year-old, would you do the hoop-de-doo, Trails End, or stick with Ohana? I would probably not go hoop-de-doo because it is a sit-down show. If he's not going to be able to sit down for an hour and a half to 2 hours comfortably, and it's, do you know what, it's this is me getting into nerdy. It's a language-based show, actually. There's a bit of slapstick humour, but most of it is around the spoken language, and the subtleties and the puns. So if he may not be old enough to understand that, whereas at Ohana they do have the coconut races, which is great fun.
They used to do the hokey cokey as well, didn't they? And things like that. They had a load of stuff at Ohana.
I think Ohana's out of those 3 is probably going to be the best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Ohana.
it depends whether
maybe,
it's breakfast or dinner.
Whispering Canyon, maybe the other option in terms of somewhere sweet if he likes ketchup and that.
Well, I was going to say, Whispering Canyon is quite noisy, so if he's a loud 4-year-old, then he'll fit right in.
Yeah.
If he's very active, I would say that hoop-de-doo probably isn't the place to go yet.
And just make sure Whispering Canyon and get him to ask for the ketchup.
Yeah. Keep asking for it.
Repeatedly.
No,
Hey, Nick. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Nice to see you made it, Nick. Hello.
Yay.
So,
He likes ketchup.
That'll
Well,
be
there you
fine
go.
then.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Whispering
I'll be
Canyon.
very
Yeah.
happy. Yeah.
So yeah, Whispering Canyon or
I mean,
Ohana maybe.
he might not want to give it up when it's time, but
The other place, Karen, I don't know, and we haven't talked about it yet because we haven't done this park. Is Tusker House is the other place that I would look at because that's quite interactive as well in terms of character dining, particularly for breakfast is a good one. But maybe not Hoopty Doo yet, but just keep it on the list on the back burner for when he's a little bit older, maybe.
If he's a Stitch fan, then Ohana Breakfast.
Stitch
Yeah,
waffles.
I'm trying to think how old Millie was when we first took her to Hoopty Doo. I think she was about 6. But she's quite happy to sit at a table in a restaurant. She's not a child that jumps up and down all the time. So, but yeah, it's Fort Wilderness for me. Every time I go there, I go, wow, I'd forgotten how much there is.
Yeah.
And every time I look at what's available, it just surprises me. I mean, just going back to the Tricercody Ranch and the horse barn and the calliope that's in there and the history. There's a whole thing with the horses and the history. And this, I love going and visit. You know, I've not been riding, but I love going and look at the big heavy horses that they use for the trolleys and you know the black horse they use for the Headless Horseman and the Boo to You parade, and it's just amazing.
Oh, lovely.
Cool.
Yeah, and you can have a chat with the cast members in there. They'll talk to you about the horses and their personalities, and it's really interesting. If they're not too busy sorting out tack and stuff, they're quite happy to have a chat with you about the horses. So yeah, it's good fun.
Karen,
so when we
in answer to your in answer to Karen's comment, looking for dinner for the night that you're doing the not so scary, don't go anywhere that has desserts, because you will not need desserts that night.
No.
Yeah.
You're going to be shoveling
candy.
up the candy. But do you know that you can get into the park from 4:00 that day? So you might want to grab something within inside Magic Kingdom itself.
Yeah, that would be useful. Yeah.
Or one of the
Or
resorts
contemporary.
or a lunch.
Or or a lunch.
Big lunch and a snack
Yeah.
in the evening.
Or maybe one of the quick service at
Holly, or Captain Cook, something like that, like we talked about last week.
Just for
or
gorillas.
Wilderness Lodge. There's quite a few places there, and get the boat over. That'd be quite nice.
Although it is easiest to walk from contemporary, so
Yeah.
grab something at contemporary and walk over.
To be honest with you, Karen, my move for Not So Scary is we've tended to get an ADR for the plaza because it's usually fairly quiet in terms of getting an ADR is not usually that difficult. And if you get an ADR at like 5:30, 5:30, by the time you've eaten and you exit, then the party's getting going at 7. So you're in the park early, you've picked up your initial candy bags, you've walked around that back street, and then you grab some food, so you're not hangry for the party. There's not the urgency to like eat all the candy the minute you get it in the bag because you just had supper. So we've done the plaza a few times actually doing that.
Plaza's quite a nice restaurant. Good food on there.
Yeah, the only issue is there's no bathrooms inside the restaurant, which is very annoying. Particularly if you've got a child and
and the closest bathrooms aren't very nice.
Well, they're just busy. They're busy.
It's the location of it, and
But
although if you go up a little bit further, there are some quieter ones in Tomorrowland Terrace.
So, so there we are. I'm sure there's so much we haven't said about the Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge.
Sure, there's loads.
Are there any other particular videos we need to show?
yeah, let's have a look. So we've got.
Because I know we went through and picked loads of them.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Look, we're always keeping.
The horses!
Yay.
Yay.
That was one of our favourites.
Yeah.
That was one of ours as well.
They are beautiful, aren't they?
They're stunning, and they are massive. But
Yeah.
like cast members,
Next year we can spend a whole day there.
Yeah, I think we could do.
You do the bar, horse
Breakfast.
barn. You can breakfast, horse barn,
Breakfast
rent
and
a
travelling,
kayak,
horse band,
yeah,
archery, horse riding.
yeah.
Round it
there's
off with dinner
loads.
at Hoopty Doo.
Yeah, we've got so much you can do.
Oh, beautiful.
Just by the marina, you can rent boats. That are just, it's just so peaceful. Just imagine
Although
seeing like,
that-
the sunset.
That duck in the middle, those ducks in the middle are stealing my attention.
The other thing to say about the Fort Wilderness is it is a dog-friendly resort,
Yeah.
which you can take your. It doesn't say about any other kind of pets, but you can take your dog with you. So if you're going and you're staying, you're not necessarily going to the parks very much. You can take your dog with you, which is great. So that's nice. They can chase the armadillos.
Yeah.
So a little bit of nostalgia for anyone who's been to River
Never
Country.
been to River Country, no.
Oh, I've never been. We didn't make it to River Country. It was before our time, Joe. But that's very cool that they've transported that into the main pool. So yeah, there's so much to do, Karen. Until you start looking, you're like, wow, this resort is almost like its own little theme park in itself. It's a real.
It's always been one of those resorts that I've always felt is bottom of the list because it's not got what I would have said like the amazing draw of like the Grand Floridian lobby. There's certain things that you've always gone to when you leave the park. You go to the nearest resort, but actually Fort Wilderness is incredible. Every time we've gone there, we've gone, why don't we stay here longer?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So I love it there. It's a real outdoorsy resort. You feel like you're in nature. It reminds me a bit of Centre Parks in the UK. You know,
Okay.
In terms of, you can walk around. There's not really any cars driving around because you can't take your car you can take your car and drop stuff off, but you have to park it in the main car park. So it's a relatively safe environment for kids to play outside of the cabins or outside. It's just, I think it's got quite a strong community feel. As far as I know, the people go back there year after year after year. Whereas in some other hotels, I think people shop and change and experience different things. But it feels like the people who go to Fort Wilderness stay at Fort Wilderness. They tend to go there.
Yeah.
So
looking through the videos, I found myself humming the theme tune from Little House on the Prairie a lot. So
that's going back a bit, Jill.
Yeah.
The Waltons I could just about get to, but not Little House on the Prairie.
Can you believe that we've finished Magic Kingdom Resorts?
I know.
Whoa.
And do you know what? We've almost finished on time, and I'm going to say that's because neither John nor Jason are with us.
That's what it is. Talking of Jason, so today's Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means that there is another
New
soundscape.
soundscapes.
I'm only about 3 weeks behind. It's fine.
And there we go. Polynesian.
Lovely.
That's
needed. A little bit of relaxation. I bet that's really lovely, actually. I can't wait.
Especially as we cool down later this week, hopefully.
Yeah. So that's out tomorrow. So that's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or midday in the UK. That goes live. Found on all your usual podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Spotify, all of that stuff.
We also had a show out last week as well. Sounds of Walt Disney World.
We did.
Yeah, we did. I completely forgot about that.
5 days ago, Claire.
Oh my goodness, so much has happened in the last 5 days, quite frankly.
Before the heat wave.
Yeah, the heat's got to me.
Melted all of our brains.
Yeah.
That was fun to record.
That really was. And I hope you all play along with the game that we played, where it was like, where in Walt Disney World was this?
Yeah. So if you haven't listened, you can listen along and you can guess where the audio is from that we were listening to. And yeah, brilliant.
And it's not that long now to our new first of the month show.
No, that's the end of next week.
Very soon.
And so next Wednesday, what are we talking about?
Next Wednesday is going to be
favourite subject.
Hilarious.
All I can say is make sure you don't watch Hungry.
Oh, next Wednesday's show.
Why? Who are they playing?
Just
need a sound effect there.
Yeah. So next,
either that or tumbleweed.
One or the other.
Next Wednesday's show. Jason's still on holiday, but he will be with us by the magic of video. We did do the poll. We did send him off to Food and Wine to try a variety of different offerings. Some which went down well, some which may not have gone down well. Yes, it is Food and Wine where we made Jason eat all the things.
All the things.
Yes.
And I've seen some of the footage, and you do not want to miss it. It's going to be fun. So we'll be talking about Food and Wine, what's on offer, what's new, and then looking at what happens when Jason tries out the stuff that we all voted for.
What? Yeah, all the stuff
mm.
we recommended and thought, oh, that sounds interesting, but we're not over there to try it yet.
Yeah,
So we thought Jason offered to be our guinea pig.
right.
So and was there on day one of the festival.
Melting because it was hot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll help
And
us out for
surrounded
when
by
we
all the
go in November.
crowds.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It'll
if
help
you're
us out
planning,
when we go in November.
Yeah, we
right,
need to
if you're
narrow
planning
our
to go
list
to
down.
Food and Wine, this might help
Yeah.
you make some decisions. So
Yes. Yeah.
That is
let's
true.
looking forward to see Jason try the things he doesn't want to. Aren't we all?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So yeah, we'll be back
That's it.
this time next week.
Yep.
So whether it be on Facebook or YouTube, we'll put the event on Facebook. All the links will be there. If you just want one place to find everything we do, just head to our website, gbmickeywaffle.com. So yeah, I think there's just one thing left to say.
Waffle on.
Waffle on.
Waffle on.
Waffle on.